with the label in there.
This is Scott Goldie, Project Concert 150, hanging out at the McAlpine Meadery on a Saturday night. I'm here with Brandon Postman. He is of the Lab Techs, and it has been 217 shows.
317.
317. God, he's correcting me because I'm a fuck up on my own fucking project.
Yeah, don't be too modest. Hi, Scott.
Dude, you were number one.
I was the first show.
You were the first interview, period.
Yeah, and now I'm back, and I'm so
Over
excited to be
1,000 interviews later.
Whoa, that really puts it in perspective.
Over 1,000 interviews later, I'm here with Brandon Postman. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing excellent.
And it's with great regret that Project Concert 150 says I haven't seen you since.
And you know, it's with great regret that I say I haven't seen you since. I've been, I came to that first show, and that's the day I met, so for those of you watching, the day I met Scott was at that first show. When I was the first band on his first show for his project, he told me he wanted to see 150 concerts that year. And I was like, good luck, man. That's a commitment. That's ambition.
And now,
and then, I ended up befriending him on the internet and watching as he did it. He really went to like 180 shows that year.
Twice.
And that was nuts. And yeah, he did it 2 years in a row. That's a real commitment to one's local scene, and I love that. That is so cool to me.
And I'm hoping by the Lab Techs being on this show that it gets you down here closer to me, like a couple times.
I hope so.
Yeah. So, in the last 2 years, what's new with the Lab Techs, dude? Do you have any new music?
Okay, so you got us just after we had dropped an album. Our first album, it's called Beakers. And then, since then, we've been playing, we've been doing some shows, and, I went through a whole episode of this crap, and I put out an EP all on my own, just as Brandon Postman. It's called Mishindo, and that's everywhere. It's on Spotify and stuff, so check that out. That's very different from the Lab Tech stuff. It's all electric and inspired by... I've been listening to a bunch of emo stuff is what I've been listening to. So that's what the big influences were for that. But actually, big news, just a couple weeks ago, I sent the demos for the next album to the other Lab Techs. And the album is going to be called Strange Little Man.
Strange Little Man.
Strange Little Man. All right, so you want to know why it's called Strange Little Man? You're hearing it first. Scott Goldie, Project 150. I was briefly hospitalized. And during
You know what? I have done that 4 times myself.
Well,
4 times.
I'm on number 2, and here's to number 3.
Or maybe not. Maybe you'll survive.
I hope so.
And not get to number 3. You know, I've been to number 4, and that was like a number of years ago, and I moved to Canton, and everything's been good.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, don't be ashamed of your depression. Talk to your friends about it. Talk to a psychologist about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I went to the hospital briefly, and I was in the hospital. You know, the one day we went down to the rec room, and we were shooting some pool and having a good time, and I decided to play a game of chess against one of our, I think they're called TPWs, but I call them babysitters because that's basically what they were. He was a nice guy. His name is Charlie. Hi, Charlie. So Charlie and I are playing chess, and this old lady comes sauntering over. She's got this gray hair. It's crazy. She looked like the tree witch from Adventure Time, except with gray on the top, too. And she goes over to my buddy Alan. Hi, Alan. And she's got this tin of dominoes, and she goes to Alan like this, and it goes ka-chunk. And Charlie, the babysitter, he turns around, he's like, Cheryl, settle down. Cheryl, give me the dominoes. Cheryl, go draw a picture. Thank you, Cheryl. Go on, Cheryl. That was my first encounter with Cheryl. So then several minutes later, they called her unit and they left. And then they called my unit and we left. So we're walking down the hallway back toward our unit. And we end up having to stop in the hallway because the other unit has stopped. And Cheryl she's just standing in the middle of the hallway. I don't know, she's like this. And me and my babysitter, we kind of walk up to her and we're like, we don't know what to do. And then Cheryl looks up and she looks at me and she gets this mean eye and she goes, strange little man.
Oh,
Why
shit.
are you so strange? Are you with the Antichrist? And I told her, no, I'm just another guy. And that was it. Her babysitter came and wrangled her up. But then the rest of the week, my buddy Alan, the one that almost got hit with the dominoes. Hi, Alan. Hi, Nick. Anyway, Alan, just for the rest of the week, every time he saw me, he'd go, hey, strange little man. So, moral of the story, my next album will be entitled Strange Little Man.
Nice.
I love that story.
I fucking love it.
So, it's a pleasure to be here with Scott Goldie at Project Concert 150.
Hells yeah.
317 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So follow the Lab Techs on YouTube and Facebook.
I'm on
Instagram.
On Instagram, I'm at Brandon Postman.
Do you have a Professor Postman?
We're on Bandcamp, thelabtex.bandcamp.com.
Okay. Do you have any solo shit on YouTube?
Yeah, if you go on, it's everywhere. YouTube, Spotify, all of that stuff. You can look for. All right, the album's still listed under the stupid band name we released it under, which is Professor Postman and the Laboratory Technicians, 15 syllables. But I've also put out an EP and a single recently as myself, and those are listed as Brandon Postman.
Brandon Postman.
Yeah, so look for Brandon Postman, you'll find it.
Okie doke. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me again. It was a pleasure.
Hell
to be here,
yeah,
and
dude.
I can't wait to catch another one.
Okie doke. Can't wait to catch you again.
Thanks. Take
All
care.
right.